I picked this up in Astoria, Oregon as a souvenir of my trip down the Columbia River, and I use it to hold my shredded cedar bark, and that's my tinder, which has to stay nice and dry, which is why I have this. This is steel and flint for starting the sparks, and this is char cloth, which I made by filling this tin full of cotton and covering it with the lid. This is string and lamp wick pieces. Cover it with the lid, and there's a little hole in the lid which lets in oxygen. It goes in the fire, that starts to smoke. When the smoke stops, then it's all done. And you can see how black it is, and that catches a spark fairly easily. Just like that. And that'll glow very slowly until it's all burned through. That gives me lots of time to make a little nest with the shredded cedar bark. Put it in there, and there we have some flame.
Was that like used for smoke signals to the Indians too? That was cool. Look at that.
That's cool.
And
So
now you
hot,
would take
it's
that
cool.
and put it into your wood, or
Yeah, then you set that down with the flame still going, and then you add little bits here and there until slightly bigger pieces until you get yourself a good roaring fire, or a nice small cooking fire. And there's the char cloth.
yeah. Could you explain that one more time to me? How would you make the char cloth?
You take cotton and pack a tin with it. Tin has a hole in the lid, and that lets in the oxygen. You close that firmly, put it in the fire, and the heat chars the cloth.
Oh, you'd actually put it in the fire. Ah,
Yeah,
I see.
it goes in the fire. It smokes, and when the smoke stops, it's done. You take it out of the fire.
So you're
let it
constantly
cool.
preparing to make sure you have the tools you need.
Yes, you got to make sure.
So
you
you're
have
always
that.
ahead of the game, like,
Yeah.
because you have to have fire to be able to put that in to make your actual thing. So,
That's the 11th fire I made this week.
wow, that's brilliant. I thank you very much. Could you say your name and what you do and everything, please?
J. Bailey, le voyageur errant. I do school presentations as a voyageur and show what life was like in the fur trade. Having actually lived the life, I have lived to tell about it.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you very much for coming out and telling us your story.
You're welcome.